You are a human being living in the 21st century, watching excerpts of a movie trailer released in 1942, at least 8 years before computers first became commercially available. Yet the image, though flickering, is still here, and you may relate to it because you are one of the approximately 1,700,000 men of steel or women of fire who live in the urban area of Pittsburgh. An analog video transferred to digital MP4 and yet still viable. Based on the 2012 U.S. Census data, Pittsburgh was ranked 6th in the nation in terms of reported internet usage for individuals 3 years and older. This clip illustrates how census data was interpreted in 1960. At this time, computers were being used more and more in commercial settings, such as banks and in life insurance corporations. But that is likely not where you are, is it? In 2012, 76.2% of Pennsylvanians, or at least Pennsylvanians who participated in the census, reported using the internet in the home or elsewhere, and for a plethora of purposes. You're a Pennsylvanian, and you've discovered some method of viewing this PSA, so it is likely that you're a consumer and a creator of digital content. This 1998 clip probably looks antiquated and absurd now, although it was produced to illustrate the digital revolution. If you are watching this, it is also likely that you are old enough to navigate the web and are therefore probably sufficiently aware of the world around you to know about things that scare you. Death, isolation, the North Pacific Gyre, information overload, digital deluge, data deluge, infobesity, infoxication, other scary things. But with regards to this latter set of fears, have you ever thought about the opposite and perhaps more frightening prospect of the digital void? Emptiness, nothingness, implosion? This 2008 film clip documents the implosion of the Central Medical Center in Pittsburgh. 2008 was a pivotal and vibrant time for digital stuff. YouTube was just 3 years old, Facebook was just about 4, the Apple iPhone was less than a year old, and Blackberries were being termed crackberries because 5 years after the release of the convergent smartphone, the devices were considered addictive. Without a digital preservation strategy, disappearance or obsolescence is the most likely scenario for most of the material you hold near and dear. If you are 27 or younger, it is quite likely that much of your life has been documented or at least transferred into a digital form. As of 1987, 1/5 of American households had a computer. Without a digital preservation strategy, will your memory cease to exist? Will we rely on memory games such as this one in order to piece together our past? What about the larger community? What are the implications of collective memory loss as it relates to an entire city? Let's look at Pittsburgh's cultural heritage community. Andy Warhol will be our mascot for this section, capturing the limelight in this interview with Paris Match. The city is home to several museums and historical centers, which each employ a significant number of full-time and part-time staff, and engage hundreds of volunteers. The Carnegie Museums of Pittsburgh collectively employ 400 full-time staff, 700 part-time, and 900 volunteers. The Andy Warhol Museum alone houses over 500,000 art and archival objects. These figures beg the question, how are current staff communicating with each other, the external world, and interacting with and sharing objects from their collections? Is each institution employing a distinct digital strategy? The lesson demonstrated by discarded floppy disks, CD-ROMs, and even thumb drives should demonstrate the size and scope of this challenge. Namely, how can we ensure that the next generations of Pittsburghers benefit from the vast knowledge accrued by their predecessor? Hopefully it is clear that we need to come to some sort of consensus on digital preservation. To avoid obsolescence, a collaborative and sustainable program of maintaining and transforming digital material may be just the ticket for this city of ours.